to start with the mindset as regards effective communication. I have actually three things. So the first is, in terms of effective communication and presentation, I would like you to have the flexibility to learn, to adjust, to relearn, and to keep adjusting to the changes in the technology. The flexibility, I have a story to tell because I was invited to give a work-life balance talk in Mexico, and I was prepared. I went to Mexico with already a presentation, but I think 4 days before the event, I arrived there and my friend just shared to me the tips on how to do presentations with images that have no copyright. Like for example, pexel.com, you can get the images there, and it also included a lot of tips on presentation. So I went around Mexico, I toured the city, I went to the Shrine of Our Lady of Guadalupe, but 2 days before the event, I had to change all the slide deck. And that is somehow knowing what is a better presentation, I have to change the entire presentation. Second, in this section on mindset is that the slide is actually number 4 in terms of preparing your presentation. It's really not the primary thing, it's not the most significant thing. According to TED.com, the first thing is really to know the format of TED, which is 18 minutes, and how they do it. And then the second is to develop the idea. And for some speakers, it can take them a long period of time to develop it. I know someone who was like getting the stories here and there, and she would put some ideas in a piece of paper. And I know one who was like putting the ideas. She was putting the ideas on the floor, and then later on, as she was developing the sequence of her ideas, then suddenly the floor became already empty because she had everything already prioritized. But it started with having index cards on the floor. And then the third is to outline and to the script for the presentation. And then fourth is the slide. So you can see that the presentation starts with the big idea, following the format, depending on where you're supposed to give the presentation. And then after that, then you have to rehearse, you have to give the talk, and then savor the success because you have followed all the protocols and then you have given your best, okay? You can see that it is actually in the middle. Why? Because, well, another thing corollary to this idea is that the presentation can actually help or detract from your presentation. Okay, so it's not the primary thing. Sometimes it's not even necessary. And my presentation right now is a demonstration that really not all the time you need the slides. In TED.com, again, I always go back to that because they have very good presentations. They say that actually you don't need the slides. If ever you need the slides, then less is more. I know I have been a teacher before, and I know that the teacher gives points for the presentation. But I think you will always remember the teacher who does not demand the slide and really listen to your talk rather than looking at your presentation. Okay? So less is really more. Okay? The important thing is really the message. And then you have to realize, why is it that the slide is not that important? Because you have 3 types of learners in the audience. The first type of learner is visual, and this is the type of learner that you attract with your presentation because they really learn with the images and with the text. But then some types of learners are auditory. They don't care, probably they care less about the slides, but they learn through what they hear. Okay? And then the third type of learner is kinesthetic. Okay, so you cannot have all slides or all message, all speech. Probably you can insert a little bit of movements. For example, I know that now you have the virtual drum roll when you call the speaker. So let's do like, now for example, let's welcome Miss Sheena Peralta. Okay, virtual drum roll. Yeah? Okay. So that's the one. You really have to engage the audience, no? So These are for people who are more of the kinesthetics. They don't like just looking at the screen, nothing, or the ones who put off their video because they just listen while they wash the dishes, while they wash the clothes. Okay, so that's the reason why the slide is really not that significant. You have to use it really well. The third, in terms of mindset, is that you have to say what the others want to know. You have to say what the audience would like to know. Because sometimes we want to finish 20 minutes telling everything that is in the chapter. But actually 20 minutes have passed and nobody listened to you, not even in 1 minute of your talk. Why? Because they don't care. They actually have the chapter, but they really wanted to have you explain to them in a better way rather than just, okay, sige, babasahin ko na lang ulit para maintindihan ko. So you have to deliver something that the others would like to know rather than ramming to their throats everything that they should know according to you. That's why I asked Angelica to survey you, because really, I first want to know what you want to know.